Good day everyone. Before we start our report about market integration, I'm going to introduce myself and my partner. I'm Montesa Agsoy and together with Jennifer is Anuhan. But before that, we have the objectives. First, we have to identify the types of market integration. Second, reason for market integration. Third, we have to determine the two types of degree of integration. And fourth, we have to determine the three types of effect of integration. And now, what is market integration? So market integration is a process which refers to the expansion of firms by consolidating additional marketing functions and activities under a single management. So the market integration shows the relationship of the firm in a market. The extent of integration influences the conduct of the firms and consequently their marketing efficiencies. And the behavior of a highly integrated market is different from that of a disintegrated market. So markets differ in the extent of integration and therefore there is a variation in their degree of efficiency. So example of market integration are the establishment of wholesaling facilities by food retailers and the setting up of another plant by a milk processor. In each case, there is a concentration of decision making in the hands of a single management. And now there are three types of market integration. First is horizontal integration, second is vertical integration, and third is conglomeration. Horizontal integration. In this type of integration, some marketing agencies combine to form a union with a view to reducing their effective number and the extent of actual competition in the market. So this occurs when a firm or agencies gains control of other firms or agencies performing similar marketing functions at the same level in the marketing sequences. It is advantageous for the members who join the group. So in most markets, there is a large number of agencies which do not effectively compete with each other. This is indicative of some element of horizontal integration. It leads to reduced cost of marketing and in this reduced competition possible. And now we have the effects of horizontal integration. First, buying out a competitor in a time-bound way to reduce competition, gaining larger share of the market and higher profits, attaining economies of scale, and specializing in the trade. Next is vertical integration. This type of integration makes it possible to exercise control over both quality and quantity of the product from the beginning of the production process until the product is ready for the consumer. This occurs when a firm performs more than one activity in the sequence of marketing process. Vertical integration is a linking together of two or more functions in the marketing process within a single firm or under a single ownership. It reduces the number of middlemen in the marketing channel. We have two kinds of vertical integration. First is forward integration. If a firm assumes another function of marketing which is closer to the consumption function, example, wholesaler assuming the function of retailing. Second is background integration. This involves ownership or a combination of sources of supply. Example, when a processing firm assumes the function of assembling or purchasing the product from the villages. And now the effects of vertical integration. First, more profits by taking up additional function. Second, risk reduction through improved market coordination. Third, improvement in bargaining power and the prospects of influencing prices. And lowering cost through achieving operational efficiency. And last is conglomeration. Is a combination of agencies or activities not directly related to each other may, when it operates under a unified management, be termed a conglomeration. And now the effects of conglomeration. First, risk reduction through diversification. Second, acquisition of financial leverage and empire building urge. And now these are the reasons for market integration. First, to remove transaction cost. Second, foster competition. Third, provide better signals for optimal generation and consumption decisions. Fourth, improve security of supply.
Of integration. There are two types of degree of integration. The first one is the ownership integration or contract integration. Let's tackle the first, the ownership integration. This occurs when all decisions and assets of a firm are completely assumed by another firm. Example, a processing firm which buys a wholesaler firm. Ibig sabihin nito ay, ikaw na yung nagmamay-ari, katulad ng sinabi ni Ms. Montesa Agsoy sa kanyang report. In the case of Jollibee, siya na ang nagmamay-ari ng Inasal at Chowking. It means that they or he or she buy the company of Mang Inasal and Chowking. So the result, he or she can get a higher profit or share in his or her own good. Then the second is contract integration. This involves an agreement between two firms on contained decision while each firm retains a separate identity. Example, tie-up of a dal mill with pools traders for supply of pools grains. Ibig sabihin nito, there are two firms or two company that merging each other, although difference o magkaiba yung may-ari ng company, pero nagkakaroon sila ng merging ng mga share, usually para mapalakas ang isa't isa. Then let's move on to effects of integration. There are three types. The first one is effects of vertical integration. More profits by taking up additional functions. Risk production through improved marker coordination. It means the risk will be decreased but possible. You can avoid bankrupt and your profit will be higher or will get higher profit as it. The improvement bargaining power and the prospect of influencing prices. But it depends on the product or the foods that they sell. And katuban ako. Next is lowering costs through achieving operational efficiency. It means mas konti na lang ang gastusin mo sa pag-produce ng mga bagay. You have the advantage of it. Let's move on to the horizontal integration. Buying a competitor's a time-bound a way to reduce competition. It's very hard to buy the competitor's company if it's a big company. But if you want it, you can buy it so that you can get a higher profit. An example of this, halimbawa nito ay ginawa ng Jollibee with Inasal, napakalaking step nun. Ibig sabihin, it means that if you are in business and you want to get a higher profit or to reduce a competitor, then it's advantage to you if you have power to buy the competitor. Then the next is gaining larger share of the market and higher profits. Example of this, as what I'm saying in previous, if there are 5 stores in one place, then you can get 60% na kaagad. O sa mga tao na yun, mapupunta na kaagad sa iyo dahil ikaw nagmamay-ari ng Jollibee Corporation, dahil may limang store ka, halimbawa nito, ikaw na yung nagmamay-ari ng Jollibee, Chowking, and Mang Inasal, and then there are KFC and McDo. Then there are tendency that out of 100% you can get 60% consumer. Then you have only two competitors company. Then it is really possible that you can get 60% of it in person. Then the next is attaining economics of skill and specializing in the trade, which means mas maganda siya kasi marami nakikreate na choice yung tao, at the same time tumataas ang supply. What I'm saying earlier, if there are 5 store or 5 company that building kind of food that people can choice freely, then you have already in your own company, you have Jollibee, Mang Inasal, and then Chowking, then it's very possible that you can get a higher profit. And at the same time, yung horizontal integration, halimbawa nito, hindi inalis ni Jollibee si Inasal at si Chowking. Ang mangyayari dun, kung aalisin niya, if possible, if iyayhawa ang Chowking ug ang Mang Inasal, then man naman tabo ang alis niya ang dalawang matitira, silang tatlo, papalakihin lang niya sa Jollibee. Hindi sure kung lahat ng tao mapupunta sa kanya. Dahil inalisin yung dalawang kampanya na makakatulong para mas lumago ang kanyang profit o kanyang negosyo o business. And then, pero, kung hindi niya aalisin ang Chowking at Mang Inasal, ang mga tao may pagpipilian. Dahil hindi natin alam kung anong gusto ng mga tao. Dahil paiba-iba sila ng mood. So, mas okay na yung nandun yung 5 in a one place. Then you can get a higher profit. And then, for example, you have only Jollibee, and then there is a KFC, and then McDo, then possible you cannot get a higher profit if that's what you wanted. But it depends on the people that live in that place. But if you want to get a higher profit, then hinayaan mo lang siya sa itsura niya or what size the store look like. Then there are KFC, Mang Inasal, Chowking, or McDo, and you have an advantage that mas mulawak pa ang mga supply, and then at the same time you reduce the competition or the competitors sa anang place, because you have two company that you own it. Then you have two only competitors. Then, as what I'm saying earlier, you can get 60% of it. So it is big advantages. The last effect of integration is effect of conglomeration. The first is risk reduction through diversification, acquisition of financial leverage. Ibig sabihin nito, if halimbawa, if one company is bankrupt and then ang ibang company ay sasaluhin ka. At bakit? Kasi o kaya kanyang saluhin dahil related sila at their management is the same. So that's thank you and God bless, and I hope you can learn something in my discussion.